If you're over 50, I want you to take just a few seconds and ask yourself an honest question. Lately, does your body still feel like it's working with you the way it used to? Do you get tired more easily after meals? Do your knees or lower back feel stiffer in the morning than they did a few years ago? Are there days when you don't eat that much, but your stomach feels heavy, your mind feels slow, and your energy drops fast? So many people say this to me, "Doctor, I'm eating the same way I always have. So why does my body feel so different?" And that's the part almost no one explains clearly. After 50, your body's no longer playing by the old rules. Not because you did something wrong, not because you're weak or failing, but because your biology has changed. Your liver works more slowly. Insulin doesn't respond as efficiently. You naturally lose muscle every year if it's not properly supported. Low-grade inflammation quietly increases, even if you don't feel pain right away. And here's the key issue. Many foods that were fine for 30 or 40 years start becoming a burden after 50. They don't make you sick overnight. They simply make you a little more tired each year, more achy more often, dependent on medication sooner, and slowly lose freedoms you once took for granted. I've heard too many patients say this. I wish I had known sooner. My name is Dr. David Warren. I'm 60 years old and I'm living in the same kind of body you're heading into. After more than 30 years working with older adults, I've learned something very important. Most health problems after 50 are not about bad luck. They're about never being taught how to eat for a body that's aging. Today's video is not meant to scare you. It's not about extreme restriction or suffering. It's about helping you look again at very familiar choices, things you may be eating every day without realizing they're quietly draining your energy, your clarity, and your strength. We're going to talk about common food groups, why they start working against you after 50, and most importantly, how you can adjust so you still enjoy food while feeling lighter, stronger, and more resilient over time. If you want to live the years ahead with less pain, fewer medications, and more freedom, this conversation is for you. Point 1. Sugar after 50. No longer just sweet, but a biological burden. After 50, I want you to understand something very clearly. Sugar is no longer just a weight issue. At this age, many people tell me, "Doctor, I don't really eat that many sweets." But when we look closely at a typical day, sugar is everywhere. Quietly and cleverly, not just desserts, but sweetened tea or coffee in the morning, a small cookie to hold you over bottled fruit juice that sounds healthy, a dessert or pastry on the weekend, even sauces, dressings, and packaged foods. After 50, insulin, the hormone that controls blood sugar, works more slowly and less efficiently. That means when you eat something sweet, sugar stays in your bloodstream longer. Your blood vessels are exposed to sugar longer. Your nerves, eyes, kidneys, and heart are affected gradually. You don't feel it right away. The body is very quiet when it's overloaded with sugar, but over time, sugar feeds inflammation in the body. That inflammation is directly linked to joint pain, morning stiffness, high blood pressure, memory decline. Quietly developing diabetes. When people over 50 reduce sugar the right way, I often see less fatigue after meals, clearer thinking in the afternoon, deeper sleep at night, less morning joint pain, belly fat reducing slowly but steadily. Most importantly, the body stops feeling like it's fighting against you. I never tell patients to cut out sugar completely overnight. Instead, I guide them like this. Eat whole fruits, not fruit juice. Choose water, unsweetened tea, gradually less sugar and coffee. Read labels. If sugar is in the first 3 ingredients, avoid it. Save sweets for special occasions, not daily habits. Eat protein and fiber first to slow sugar absorption. Just doing 2 or 3 of these consistently creates real change. At age 50 or 60 plus, I don't ask patients, "How much sugar do you eat?" I ask, "Do you need sugar every day just to feel like you have energy?" If the answer is yes, it's not because you're weak. It's because your energy is being pulled up and down constantly. After 50, stability matters more than stimulation, and sugar is the fastest way to destroy that stability. Point 2. Refined carbohydrates after 50. Full stomach, but an underfed body. There's a very common experience after 50 that few people name correctly. You eat, and then you still feel weak. A full meal, white rice, white bread, noodles, pasta pastries, cookies, convenient packaged foods. Your stomach feels full, but shortly after, you feel sleepy, your legs feel heavy, your mind slows down. You'd rather sit than stand, and a few hours later, you're hungry again. Many people think that's just aging. In reality, it's how refined carbohydrates affect an aging body. After 50, your body handles fast carbs less flexibly. Refined carbs contain almost no fiber, enter the bloodstream quickly, turn into sugar very fast. The result? Blood sugar spikes, insulin rushes to respond, then levels crash, causing fatigue, fog, irritability. When this happens daily, it increases inflammation, expands belly fat, speeds muscle loss, weakens joints and muscles over time. When people over 50 reduce refined carbs, I often see walking feels lighter, less post-lunch sleepiness, better mental clarity in the afternoon, more stability when standing or sitting. Weight stabilizes, even without eating less. The key point, the body finally receives real energy, not fast fake energy. I don't tell patients to eliminate carbs completely. I keep it practical. Reduce portions, don't eliminate. Replace white rice, brown or mixed rice, white bread, whole grain bread, instant noodles, sweet potatoes, oats, beans. Always eat protein and vegetables before carbs. Reducing refined carbs by just 20–30% per meal is enough. No suffering required, just slower, smarter eating. I often tell patients, if a meal makes you sleepy, it's not nourishing your body. At this stage of life, the goal isn't just to feel full, it's to preserve muscle. Stay steady on your feet. Keep your mind sharp. Avoid needing medication sooner than necessary. Carbohydrates aren't bad, but the wrong kind, at the wrong time, quietly steal your strength year after year. Point 3. Fried foods after 50. Exhausting the heart before pain ever appears. Many patients tell me, "Doctor, I don't eat fried food that often, just occasionally." But occasionally after 50 is no longer harmless. The problem isn't the taste, it's how fried foods stress aging blood vessels and the heart. When foods are fried at high temperatures, especially reused oil, overheated oil, they create compounds that damage the lining of blood vessels, raise bad cholesterol, thicken the blood, and slow circulation. After 50, blood vessels lose elasticity. The heart must work harder to pump blood. Fried foods force the heart to strain repeatedly, even if you feel no chest pain. When people over 50 cut back on fried foods, I often see less shortness of breath while walking, less heaviness after meals, reduced leg and ankle swelling, more stable blood pressure, a lighter, less sluggish feeling overall. What surprises many people? They often feel better within just 2 to 3 weeks, even if weight hasn't changed. You don't have to give up your favorite foods entirely. I usually recommend reduce frequency, several times a week, once a week, change cooking methods, frying, baking, steaming, light sautéing. Use fresh oil only, never reused. Avoid fried foods in the evening. These small changes significantly reduce strain on the heart. I often tell patients, the heart doesn't scream, it gets tired quietly. And when it's been tired too long, walking feels harder, stairs feel heavier, confidence in your body fades. After 50, every meal should make your heart feel lighter, breathe easier, move more freely. Fried food won't harm you in a single day, but eaten too often, it can steal years of healthy living. Point 4. Processed meats after 50. Convenient for your mouth, exhausting for your liver and kidneys. There's a very quiet change I often notice in people after 50. The body starts getting tired of things that used to feel convenient. Sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, canned meats, smoked meats. They're fast, familiar, easy to eat. But for a body that's entered the second half of life, that convenience comes with a real biological cost. Processed meats are usually high in salt, preservatives, additives. Your body has to filter out. After 50, the liver detoxifies more slowly. The kidneys don't clear waste as efficiently. That means waste stays in the body longer. Inflammation quietly increases, extra strain builds on the heart, blood vessels, and joints. You don't feel it right away, but your body remembers every overload. When people over 50 reduce processed meats, I often see fewer vague aches and pains, less bloating and heaviness, more stable blood pressure. Lab results improve slowly, but clearly. The body feels lighter in the morning. Most importantly, less dependence on medications over time. I don't tell people to quit these foods overnight. I keep it practical. Save processed meats for emergencies, not daily meals. Replace them with fresh fish, eggs, beans, and lentils. Simple, lean poultry or meats. Cook just enough so you don't rely on canned or packaged foods. Just replacing 3 or 4 meals a week is often enough for the body to respond. I often tell patients, an aging body doesn't like food that sits around too long. It prefers fresh food, minimal processing, less filtering work. After 50, every time you choose fresh food over processed food, you're giving your liver and kidneys a break. And when those two organs are less exhausted, your whole body thanks you. Point 5, salt after 50. You don't taste it, but your heart and kidneys feel it. There's a very common belief among people over 50. Doctor, I eat pretty low salt. And it's true, many people don't add salt at the table. But the problem isn't the salt you add, it's the salt that's already hiding in your everyday meals. After 50, the kidneys don't remove sodium as efficiently as they used to. When salt enters the body, sodium pulls in water, blood volume increases, the heart has to pump harder. Pressure on blood vessels gradually rises. You may not taste anything salty, but your body is constantly working harder to manage it. Over time, excess salt contributes to high blood pressure, swelling in the feet and ankles, dull, persistent headaches, dizziness when standing up, higher risk of stroke and heart failure. When people over 50 reduce salt the right way, I often see lighter legs and feet by the end of the day, fewer headaches, blood pressure easier to control, deeper sleep at night, fewer medication adjustments. The key point is this: the body's background stress decreases, even if you don't feel it immediately. I don't tell people to eat bland, joyless food. Instead, I guide them to reduce packaged foods, canned foods, instant noodles, ready-made seasonings. Cook at home more often so you control the salt. Use onion, garlic, ginger pepper, turmeric, fresh herbs, lemon or vinegar to create flavor without excess salt. Taste food before seasoning. Don't season out of habit. Just becoming aware of hidden salt gets you halfway there. I often tell patients, salt doesn't shout, it whispers. And when you finally hear it, through high blood pressure, swelling, dizziness, the body has already been carrying that burden for a long time. After 50, eating just a little less salt at each meal is a small step that protects your heart, preserves kidney function, and helps you stay independent longer. Closing. If you've stayed with me this far, I want you to pause for a moment and look at yourself. Not to blame yourself, not to be afraid, but to recognize an important truth. After 50, food is no longer just habit. It becomes a quiet decision about how you'll live the next 10 or 20 years. Everything we've talked about today, sugar, refined carbs, fried foods, processed meats, salt, none of them are poison. The real issue is this: your body no longer processes them the same way, yet many of us still eat like we're 30. That gap is what slowly leads to more fatigue each year, more joint pain medications appearing earlier, and freedom shrinking little by little. But I want you to remember this clearly. Your body can still recover, even at 50, 60, or 70, as long as you reduce the daily burden. Let your heart, liver, kidneys, and joints breathe. Eat smarter, not more restrictively. Many of my patients have changed simply by one better meal a day, one small habit done consistently, one imperfect but intentional decision. And within weeks they tell me, "Doctor, I feel lighter. I feel like I'm back in control." That's the feeling I want for you. If this video helps you understand your body better, if it makes you think differently about tomorrow's meals, I invite you to subscribe. I don't promise miracles here. I share simple, realistic guidance designed for older adults, so you can live healthier, longer, and more independently. And before we finish, I want to be clear. This video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace personal medical advice. Everybody's different, and you should always consult your doctor when needed. Thank you for taking time for your health. Your body has carried you a long way. Now it's time to care for it with understanding and respect.